So hey there everybody, it has been a while since I've been on here. Takes a long time to heal a big broken heart. But man, I went and I was reading all the comments on my initial video, the one I posted about losing my dog. And there were a lot of people, in the same boat. And I'm really touched by all of your comments, and I hope that everybody is healing well. And if you are in the beginning stages of having to put your pet down, or you're in the spot where you're making the decision to put your pet down, know that it is a heavy burden, and that it's a burden that we have to take for our loved ones. Just like you wouldn't want to see your mom or dad or anybody else, suffer in any way that really hurts them. If you were next to them in a bed and they had some horrible, horrible disease, cancer or something, and you went to the hospital all the time, and you just saw that they were laying there and they were not living and they were struggling, and I think there's part of you that kind of comes to a point where you go, it probably is best if mom, dad, auntie, grandma, whatever, whoever passes on, because the life that they are living right now it's so far from who they really are, and who they really were, that I don't even recognize this person. I mean, and I think of it in kind of those terms. Like my dog, her life had changed. When I look back now, it's much easier to look back after this time has passed and the healing has occurred. And I have looked at videos, and I have thought about the things that we used to do, and I thought about how much her life had changed, and subsequently our life. And she just wasn't the same dog, that she was. And so you have to be able to realize that and recognize that their quality of life, when they are not living to their potential and living the life that they used to live, and that it's not going to get any better, that to keep them here, when we have the decision, or when we have the opportunity, I should say, to allow them to pass on, is really the right thing to do. It's the hardest thing to do. God knows it was very, very difficult. But it is the right thing to do, to allow them to go ahead and move on, because it's just not going to get any better. Just like you would watch your father, or your mother, your grandfather, or your child, or your whomever, if they were laying in the bed and you were there, if they were laying in that bed and you went to that hospital all the time, and you saw them hooked up to all those tubes, and you saw them not living life, and you just saw them just laying there. I know that internally you're hoping that they will get better. And then the doctors just tell you it's not going to get any better. This is just the way that it is, I think at some point you come to terms with that and you go, okay, this is the way that it is, and it's best that, we move forward or we move on. And I'm not saying that that's easy to come to. I'm not saying that it's easy to deal with. I'm just saying that there's a little bit of a switch, or a flip of a switch in your mind that maybe you can get to, that goes, I know this is the right thing to do, because it's not going to change, it's not going to get, any better. And unfortunately, we haven't found the fountain of youth for the pup yet. So anyway, it has taken a long time for me to heal. I cried solidly for at least a year and a half. And I haven't cried for her in a long time. And I have just fond memories now where I just smile and I go, yeah, we had such a great time. And you know what? I actually look forward to the time when I can have a pet again. My situation is such that I can't have pets right now. I'm in a house where I can't have pets. I was in a situation prior to this where you weren't allowed to have pets. So for the last year, I haven't been able to have pets. But I know that it's coming, because my heart is too big for animals, dogs especially, because I'm a big outdoor person, and I loved going hiking. And I just miss having a companion around like that, And so I know that I will definitely get another pet when I'm able to. But the healing took a lot of time. And I wanted to mention, I went and got this book out of my room. But this book I felt helped a lot. This is by Peter McWilliams and Melba Colgrove, and I really like it. It's called How to Survive the Loss of a Love. And it's a short read. Let me flip through it. You can see some pages only have a little bit of writing on it, but it talks very practically about how to deal with it, you know? And sometimes it's kind of silly and fun, and it makes you smile and laugh at the same time. But it's a quick read. And so, when and if you get to that point, that's the intro. But when and if you get to that point and you feel like you want something to read, not only, you know, for human healing, healing the loss of a love, but it's any love, right? You could have loved your goldfish. But I find that this really was a good book for me. And what else? Don't have any pets. A lot of people have asked, so did you get a dog? Did you get a dog? And no, I never got a dog. But I tell you what, I go to the pet shelter place and I pet, and I love on those pets who are yearning for another home or a home to go to, because some of them are puppies and have never had a home. So I get and give my love there at the shelter because I can't have anything right now. But no, I don't have anything yet. No. But I had a lot of time to think about it, and I would like to have 1, 2, or maybe 3 in the future. And I thought that I would like 1 because it would be a one-on-one companion. And the more I thought about it, I thought sometimes, you know, Coop was lonely. And so maybe if I got 2, then that puppy dog wouldn't be lonely, but it would have a friend and a companion. And then I thought for my own self, selfishly, I thought, well, if 1 dies, then I'll have another one, and I won't have to go through Coop's thing again, because that was just so tragic and so difficult to go through. So I thought if I got 2, then I would be safe. And then I thought, well, no, I need 3. Because if I have 3, then 1 dies, then those 2 will still have each other. And then I never thought any further about it, because always one of those could die, and then, you know, just me and that person, or that dog. But so I've gotten up to having 3. And Coop was a mix between a German Shepherd and a Lab. She was like 48% German Shepherd and 42% Lab. And my thinking is that in the future, I would love to be able to pay somebody to mate a female German Shepherd with a male Lab, and then I would take all the puppies. I would pay them for the mating, etc., etc., and when the puppies were old enough, I would take all the puppies, or at least some of them. So that's what I would ultimately really love to do. Because I thought Coop was like the best combination of dog. I've been around dogs all my life. I've had a number of dogs. But I thought she embodied really the best of all of the dog traits. Labs, friendly, will lick your face off, will just love you, and super good family dogs, you know, and dogs around kids. German Shepherds, so smart and so loyal and just so wanting to work for you and that relationship, and just a very good dog altogether. When you breed them, when you mix them, you get some of that hip dysplasia out of there too, so that takes care of, you know, that solid breeding of having just 100% Lab, and so you take out some of the medical stuff. So I really liked the mix that Coop was, because I really felt like she was the best of everything. She was a phenomenal dog. When I think about the successes that she had, when we went to all of the trainings that we went through, she did all of the trainings that I could possibly take her to. She even knew sign language. She did search and rescue. She knew, I don't know, just everything. She was brilliant dog. And we had a relationship that was like, you know, just unconditional love. We were just connected. Really a great connection. And I just, you know, I don't expect that my next dog, 2 or 3, will have that exact connection. But I'd certainly like to recreate it, because we had something special, and I liked that mix of dog. I really did. So anyway, I just wanted to check in, because when I logged in. It was hard to even go back to the site really because, going back there fills me with emotion again. And there were a few of your stories that I was like, just, oh my gosh, I can just be back to my own sadness and my own pain that I was going through, and I just feel for you. And I just can say, just keep strong and just take it one day at a time. You will cry until you can't cry anymore. And when you can't, then you just get up and go and move on. And I don't mean to trivialize that. I don't mean that it's like, just footing up and just going. But the crying will stop and the pain will get easier to bear as time passes on. And if you need to cry, I mean, your body's telling you something. Tears are healing, and you need to do that healing. And so I just went with it, and it certainly took time. And I'm happy. I feel whole again. I feel ready for another puppy or two or three. And we'll have to see what happens, down the road a little bit. Maybe in about a year, I think, because I can't do anything anytime soon. But yeah, so that's where that's at. So I wish all of you the best and the most healing that you can get, in your own journey, and just know that if it's that time for you and your pet, you're the only one that can make that decision. And when you make that decision, be strong in that decision and know that you're making the right one. Know that if your pet were laying there and could speak to you, that he may be saying something or she may be saying something like, take me out of this misery, please. You can see, Mom, Dad, I can't walk, I can't eat, I can't drink, I have a miserable life. Please help me out of it. Sometimes that might, help you to get some clarity if you could give your dog a voice. Because sometimes our own thoughts, take over. And I know mine certainly did. And I mean, when you saw the video, it was just so horrible. I beat myself up so much. And that's part of the healing process. That's part of the going through the sadness, the depression, did I make the right decision and all that. And ultimately, of course, I made the right decision. I was just, I was grieving and I was being selfish and I was thinking of only me and how I was going to be hurt. And I really needed to think about, what about Coop? Every time she tries to stand up, I got to be there and help her. She can't even stand up. She's peeing all over herself. That's not okay. If your mom was laying in there in the bed peeing all over herself, I certainly wouldn't put her down or whatever. But I mean, when you weigh all of these things and you know that there's no coming back and they're on life support, and which is, about where Coop was, because she couldn't really function without me. And her hip was, hanging on literally by a thread. It's just the right, decision. And only you can make that decision. And only you know when it's the right time to make that. So I wish you strength, and I wish you lots of blessings and love. And, it looks like from everything that everybody's been commenting and saying that the support within this channel is really helping each other. So reach out to those who have been through your struggles, because there is glue and there is stickiness that helps each other healing, helps each other's healing along the way. So interestingly enough, this channel has turned into a little bit of a support network for others who are grieving the loss of their pet or in the stages of planning to put their pet down. So I would encourage you guys just to continue what you're doing here, because everybody is helping a lot of other people. So thank you so much for being part of this this journey, my journey, and everybody else's journey. And I wish you all the best, and I will be back here, and who knows, it may be with a little puppy right here in my hands to show you guys in the future, but I will definitely be back. So stay tuned. Thanks.